Whoa, it's another good evening, our dear viewers. Most welcome to this session today. We are happy to host you. We are happy to have you. It's a great day, and we're looking forward to an amazing session with you tonight. It's occupied today, yet another Sunday evening. You know what? We are so excited to see the business community thriving and doing so well, and taking their positions in the marketplace and doing what God has called them to do. And this is why we are here tonight on Hope TV. It's my hope and prayer that you're prepared to be with us for the next 1 hour, to relax, to enjoy, but also to learn a lot, because we have amazing experiences in the studio tonight. And it is for you, it is for me to learn, because when you have a teachable attitude, when you offer yourself and bring yourself to a point where you're learning from the experiences of other people that have been there, I can tell you, just like the Bible says, iron sharpens iron. You get sharper, you get better, you get to do things that you have not done before. So I can tell you tonight we have prepared something great, something insightful, and something that will get you out of your comfort zone to do something maybe even extra than what you're doing. So welcome, my dear viewers, my dear friends. It is exciting for me to have all of you seated and relaxed and enjoying the show tonight. I'm excited to have all of you, and so I welcome you to Occupy tonight on Hope TV. My name is Sarah Kajuju. I am a growth coach. I enjoy coaching people who want to develop themselves individually or personally, and those that want to develop themselves as businesses. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Please grab a glass of water and sip it, even as we take this next hour to just discuss on the topic of writing as a business. Can you imagine writing as a business? Writing as a business. I don't know whether you write. Do you ever have anything to write about your business, or to write about the thoughts that come to mind? Of course, our guest tonight is endowed with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding in the area of writing, and she will help you to just uncover some areas of your life that you may not have uncovered. Even myself, I'm seated here, Tabitha, to learn, really learn from you, because I know you have had a journey, and I just want to welcome you quickly to introduce yourself and tell us where you've been, what you're doing, and yes, just tell us who Tabitha is. You know, they say we are sisters, so I'm really hoping that we are looking alike on camera, and if at all this is how I look, I must be beautiful. So karibu sana, Tabi.
Thank you so
Karibu.
much. My name is Tabitha Kihara. I am an author and a writing coach. I run a foundation called Creative Authors Hub Foundation, where we inspire, we train, we motivate women to write raw, authentic stories, to tell their raw, authentic stories, to bleed on paper.
Wow.
We said that every woman has a story,
Yeah.
and you're the only person who can tell your own story. And we said that through writing, you discover your purpose and you find healing. And you can also do writing as a business. So I'm here to inspire you on how to create a business through writing.
Wow, Tabitha, amazing, amazing. I'm sure the show will be brilliant tonight because you're here, and it's because I've interacted with you, and I know that you have great substance. You have amazing stuff in store for us tonight, and so feel most welcome. And tell us just what else do you do? I know you do much more.
Yes.
Would you want to mention anything else that you do? I know writing is at the core of it, but I also know that there are other things that you do. Would you want to mention any of those other things that you do?
Yes.
Karibu sana.
I love writing. Writing is my core, it's my passion, it's my purpose. But I'm also a technical writer. I'm also a technical person. So I also write both inspirational and technical. I teach information technology at the university. I've been teaching for the last 12 years, and I'm pursuing my PhD. So I'm also passionate about technology. So I also use technology in my writing. So they blend together.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do we call Daktari or do we call you Professor?
Professor.
Hey, now Semi. Okay, Professor Tabitha.
We are manifesting, yeah. That's where we are heading
I tell you. I'm curious to know where all this writing began.
Yes.
Was it a childhood? I mean, writing. Personally, I can tell you it has not been easy for me to write. I know I can write, but I write best with my mouth, if there's anything like that. You know, I
Yes.
can speak and speak and speak and speak. But sitting down to either type or write,
Yes.
I really have to get a hold of myself to do that. So for you, did it begin naturally, or is it something you've nurtured? What is it? Where did this come from?
It began long time ago. Maybe I could start by saying that I'm the last born of 8 children, and my parents waited for 8 years, for 16 years to have me between my elder sister and I. And so my dad loved me so much.
16 years.
Yeah, between my elder sister and I. So, well, the other children in between, but
Yes.
I'm the last one. So my elder sister, between her and me, it's 16 years.
Wow.
So my dad loved me so much. And so he was an education officer and he loved reading, he loved books. And we had a library at home and he would buy all these books. I remember reading books like Little Red Riding Hood, Moses series at an early age. So my dad inspired me. I actually have written 4 books and this is one of them called The Beauty of Waiting. And I share that story on page 5 where maybe I could just read for you how my dad just inspired me into writing. Yeah. My father sought to empower me the best way he knew how. A girl must read and read well, he often said. Being a prominent and respected education officer in the village, it would be a shame if his children did not take to studying and constantly learning. Consequently, he shooed me away from the farm and pointed me to the huge cabinets that lined our study room. Walking into this huge room made me feel so small. As I walked along the shelves upon which hundreds of books were stacked, I curiously touched the hard covers of classics and questioned whether my little head could hold all the information they contained. In response, the book stared into space defiantly, as if posing a silent challenge, which I gladly accepted. Thus began a reading culture I have maintained to date.
Wow.
That is how I began reading from an early age. And then he would encourage me to write. And then he would buy the newspaper every day and he would tell me to look up the hard words. So I would say my dad inspired me. And then in class where I went to boarding school, and my dad would write me letters. I still have those memories. I mean, he would write me letters
I hope you have
so
the
much.
letters.
I have the letters.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Great.
yes. So I would say my dad is the one who inspired me. He actually has inspired my entire life, even my going back to school for PhD. He kept, from an early age, he kept saying, you're going to become a doctor, you'll become a professor. So, I'm doing all this for him. I just want to honor him. Well, he's long gone. He passed on in 2013. But I do all this to just honor him and to know that he did a good job. He mentored me very well.
I hope fathers out there among our business community and the rest of the world, you're listening to this. The power of a father believing in their child and speaking the right words. Doesn't leave out mothers, of course, I believe.
Yes.
It also includes mothers, parents. We have a great opportunity in calling out their abilities, in calling out the talents, in calling out the future of our children. And so I don't think it's just about business. It's also about parenting. And it's also about the things God is calling out in this show for us through Tabitha. Thank you very much, Tabitha. That is really, really, really amazing to hear that some of these things were called out by your father.
Yes.
So then you went out, and how did it become that then you would write such a book? Why that topic? Why,
Yes.
I would want to hear that as well.
Yes. Let me say also, in 2012, I went back to school for my master's, master's in IT, and then I had this professor there who actually just realized that I was good in writing because he would give us a lot of research work and I would do it very well. And then he told me, I think you're very good in research. So I'm also grateful to God for just bringing me people, mentors, all the way. I've had mentors, like I've been surrounded by mentors. So this professor told me I have a gift in writing, and he actually taught me how to publish journals.
Yeah.
He was a doctor then, he wanted to become a professor, so he told me, I can teach you how to write for, we call them call for papers, where different organizations call for papers for conferences. So you write, they give themes, and then you write, and then if your paper goes through, you go and present in conferences.
Yes.
And so I began to write with him, and he taught me, he mentored me, and we went different places with him. We went to Mauritius, we went to Uganda, Tanzania, we would go to different countries. And so for me, that was really good also. That began my technical writing. So I was able to write a lot about cloud computing, virtualization, e-health, e-agriculture.
Yeah.
I was able to do a lot of technical writing. So I've published about 10 journals in IT.
Wow.
But then this book is inspired. This book, it's called The Beauty of Waiting. It's inspired by my own story. And it says, be fruitful and victorious in every season. I went through a journey in my life. I waited to get a baby for 6 years. And in those 6 years, I had 2 miscarriages. And in that season, I began to journal a lot. And I remember reading the Bible cover to cover. And whatever I would read, I would begin to write it. And when then eventually I got a baby in 2015. And when I got the baby, I thought, why not write a book and encourage other women who had gone through hard times, trying to conceive, or they had waited probably for other things. And so I told them, be fruitful and victorious in every season. As you're waiting, just wait well. Your life has to move on. And so like for me, when I was waiting, I went back to school for master's. I began writing. That's when I began traveling. So I did so much in that season of waiting. I was very active also in my home church. I was in the women ministry. I was mentoring younger women. So I was telling women, be fruitful and victorious in every season.
Yes.
So I'm very passionate about children and women. And also in that season, I also wrote another one, a 40 weeks pregnancy journal. When I was pregnant, I would journal week by week on what's happening to me. And then I would write a love letter to the unborn baby and a prayer. And so I teach younger women, first-time moms, how to just have a journal, how to pray for the unborn babies, how to declare whatever you want to say. Because Psalms 45:1 says that our mouth is a
a pen of a
skillful writer.
Right?
Yes. So we can prophesy, we can write whatever we want to see in our children. So it's very important.
Oh, wow.
So
Great.
I've been passionate about
Have you written
women.
all these others? I'm seeing there are many, many others that you have. You must be, whoa.
Yes,
Tabi.
there's this book here called She Shall Be Called Woman.
I know
This book is
Yeah.
by one of the women who I respect called Ada Adoyo. I'm sure most of you know her. So when I had the second miscarriage, I remember just walking to Keswick and just looking for a book that I could read. And then I saw it. Then I read at the back, she'd given her story. She had said that she had begun her journey also in a rough way. She had lost her children. And then she said it didn't end up that way. Like eventually she ended up getting children. And for me, that was such an encouragement. As much I'd lost two, and I didn't, I was just there trusting God. I knew somebody else had walked, ahead of me. And so even when I wrote my own book, I knew there was another woman who was probably struggling, had miscarriages. And so I knew I was going to encourage somebody. And when I did write my book, I got so many women reaching out to me and telling me I'd inspired them. And for me, that is so important. That's transformational writing. You write to encourage others, to inspire others.
Indeed.
Yes.
And the Bible really tells us, is it Galatians or Corinthians, one of those, that whatever you go through, you go through so that you can have the power to encourage somebody else who may be going through the same circumstances.
Yes.
So isn't it God really using you to inspire someone else?
Yes.
And also helping those others to be able to inspire others.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes. And the amazing thing is, when I was writing this book, it's very personal because it talks about my life. I've actually talked so much about my life. I've talked everything. I've given stories of my father, my childhood dreams, and how I would, how I'd go out with my dad. Like it was, those books. It's so personal.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, oh my goodness, this is so authentic.
Yeah.
But then I got so much feedback, women telling me they could identify with me.
Yes.
And some of them were telling me they wish they had fathers like me. And some men even told me they now are learning to be better fathers because of what I'd shared about my dad. I had even talked about, maybe let me just read something about my dad. I had a very, very good relationship with him. My father would take me to the town center with him over the weekends and indulge my childhood fancies generously. My most vivid memories were lunches of chips and sausage washed down with Fanta orange. I can still taste the excitement of these experiences and feel the joy my father gave me whenever he indulged my little whims. Even better were the experiences that I felt were so grown up. He, for instance, frequented the popular butchery, Kingoko Butchery, that doubled up in roasting meat. We both loved this place for its exceptionally mouth-watering roast meat. I was fascinated by pieces of meat and ribs sizzling over red-hot coals and dripping fat into the fire. Their delicious smell traveled, beckoning passers-by and causing my dry mouth to water. My love affair with meat was anything but unfounded. My father and I were meat lovers, and whenever we visited this butchery come barbecue zone, hot roasted beef and goat ribs were served with ugali, and one would be forgiven for completely ignoring the ugali in favor of the meat. Strands of soft meat easily tore off the bones upon every bite and sat compliantly on the tongue, tantalizing every taste bud imaginable. My siblings never had the last of it. And so I have memories. And so like I also tell men, just make sure you're there for your children. Let them have memories of you.
Can say that
yeah.
again. Yeah.
Yes.
So how did this one now give birth to all these others? I still want to hear that story of these other books.
Yes. Now what happened is, it's amazing. I wrote this book in 2019. You see, I got the baby in 2015, and then I was so excited about it. But then God, it was like a burden in my heart to just release this book. Then I kept thinking, this is so personal. I've talked about my own life, everything that has happened to me.
Yeah.
But then I went ahead to write it and to release it. So I would post in Facebook, there's a new book coming. And let me tell you, when you obey God,
yes,
don't be so worried about where you'll get the, people to buy the books. I mean, who is your target audience?
Please say that again, Tabs, because I think if this is my message.
Yes.
Just say what you've said.
Yes.
Don't be worried.
Don't be
You
worried.
obey God, yes?
When you obey God, just go ahead. Don't be worried about your target audience. God just knows where they're going to come from. I remember taking time to actually pray and fast.
Yes.
And when I was praying, I just got this download of this verse. I will hiss unto them like the keeper of the bees.
Wow.
I had never seen that verse. Then I just got, I will hiss unto them like the keeper of the bees. Because I would tell myself, naturally I'm a very cool, calm and collected, quiet person.
I know.
I didn't want to be, and before then I had done many small businesses, forever living, Sarah knows. So I didn't want to get into that where you have to call people. And so I really was worried. I kept wondering, who is going to buy my books? I mean, who are my target audience? I already knew it's women. And so when the Lord spoke to me, I will listen unto them like the keeper of the bees. I just said, thank you, Lord. This is your work. I'm just a vessel. I'll just go ahead and do it.
Yes.
And so about 1 week to I was going to do a small launch in the main library.
Yes.
And so I would post in Facebook and say, we have this event coming up. And then so many people began to reach out to me.
Wow.
And one particular lady reached out to me and told me she's going to invite media houses to come and feature it.
Yes.
Yes, and that is how I ended up being featured by The Nation. I was the first person in 2020 to be featured by Nation Media, Grace Musalame, unscripted.
Wow.
And that is how my world opened up.
Yes.
Because, we were now getting to COVID, so everybody is home. So people had watched. So I began getting calls from everywhere, from Dubai, from the US, from the UK, women telling me they have stories.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, during COVID, that was my breakthrough season.
Yes.
I still look back and God, all things work out together for good for those who trust God.
Can say that
because
again.
During COVID, I was so busy, and that is when we wrote all these books. So many women reached out to me. We wrote this book. This one is called Raising from Siwano. It's by Victoria Kamau. Then we also have a journal. She did a very good journal called Celebrate You. We did another one here called Broken Mirror. The other is in Dubai. We have never met. We just talked online. I did the book and shipped to her. This one is for another author called Doris, When Something is Wrong. This is for another one called Juliet Kabaka and stuff. And many others whose books are not here. I was so busy during COVID time. Like I had during COVID time, so I started classes for men because the demand was so high for women to be taught. So I had one-on-one classes for the ones who are now far because of their time zones.
Yes.
And then now I had group classes. So I was extremely busy. And then these same women told me, they said, you know what? We also have children who we think would want to learn how to
Definitely.
write.
I love the way mothers
Yes.
just think for them and for their
Yes.
children and for their husbands and everyone else.
And now children were home.
Okay.
And so I thought, why not? So I got 2 primary school teachers and we began teaching children, and we had over 60 children.
Wow.
And with those children, we came up with a book called The Camp Treasure and Other Stories. And I mean, I've never met most of these children. Some of them we have some in Uganda. And so we did the book, and then I brought somebody to teach them about finances. So they are now selling their book. They sell the book for 500 shillings.
Wow.
And they're very excited and happy. Of course, they
Definitely.
tell me they're happy because the compositions have improved. We also teach them, these children, how to write gratitude, how to write to-do list, affirmations, you know, and then also to write short stories, and then also how to sell their books. So they're making money. The parents are very happy.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, that is
Amazing.
so fulfilling, knowing that it's transformational. Children are getting help. Women are getting help. Women, like they've told their stories. Others are in business, because we always say that a book is a good tool for your business.
Definitely.
You have a business like Juliet is a declutter coach.
Yes.
She has a declutter business, but now she has her workbook.
Yes.
So she has courses she's teaching. On top of her business, now she has courses and she has a book she's selling.
Yes.
So it's a plus.
It
so
is a
in
plus.
whatever business you're doing, whether it's
Yes.
interior design,
Yes.
whether it's, you know, whichever business, you can always have a book
You write
and monetize it.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
massive, Tabitha. And our dear viewers this evening, I'm really, really hoping that there is something coming out of this, that you would be inspired to bring out your story. By the way, I love what you said, Tabitha, that it is only you who can write your story. Nobody else would ever do, you know. And I have seen even people, when parents grow old, people wanting to sit down with their parents and just hear their story.
Yes.
And it's good to document those things, you know, like a biography of somebody.
Yes, yes.
And it's only them who knows their story. They're the only ones who can tell you, this year, 1969, I was at in such a place.
Yes.
Because not their wife would know, maybe
Yes,
not.
yes, yes.
Not a brother would know, but they have the finer details of their story.
Yes.
And not just that, in the business world, there are so many opportunities, and I'm sure this is what we are about to uncover, related to writing and having the ability to just bring out your story. So I'm really hoping that you're there, and if there's any question, any comments, please bring it forth. We are on Hope TV _KE on Facebook as well as Twitter. Please send in your comments and your questions, and we'll be able to answer them. We'll be able to respond to them. But also keep us engaged on SMS on 22233, and we are happy to respond to your comments and your questions, even as we move on with you, Prof. So tell me, now you have written all this. Is the pocket empty, or does the pocket have some money to it? Because, you know, when looking at the business side of writing, you want to know that there is a balance between the two. I hear the impact. I can tell that you have impacted lives when you say it's transformational. People are able to cry on paper and so on and so forth. But how is the pocket while at it?
Yes, while at it. Like for the children, this is a members club for the children.
Yeah.
And we charge 6,000 per month. So we train the children, but it's a members club. So you register your child, and every month they pay 6,000, and it goes for a whole year. So it depends on the number of children. It's a good membership class. So,
Yes.
because your children are learning, they are writing their books, and
Yeah.
also we are also happy. Yeah, because we are making something out of it.
So how are the sessions? Are they every week? Are they every month? What happens normally?
The sessions are once per week because the children are in school. But when they're on holiday, we make them twice or thrice. Yes.
And there are different cohorts beginning every other time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
it's
but also
really
for the
nice.
books, when you're doing this, you do it as a consultancy and you're paid.
Yes. And I always say, when you discover your purpose and your gift, you get a king's reward.
You can
don't
say that
just
again.
get anything because you're an expert in your area.
Yeah.
I've gone to school to learn. I mean, I've taken many years in school, like I'll be passing that to you. So when I charge you, I'm not just charging you for the book. There's so much I'll teach you in IT. I'll teach you how to come up with your email list, how to come up with a blog, how to come up with a website, how to market your books, how to put them on Amazon.
Wow.
So it's not just about writing the book. It's the many years I've spent in school.
That's
so I
true.
charge like a premium fee for the writing. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because I have a 5-month program.
Now, back to, thank you. That's really great on what you're doing, the impact that you're creating, but also helping people to get their stories out there. Where are the opportunities for a business person? Are there opportunities in writing? And if so, where are these opportunities?
Yes. Opportunities are many. Like I said, I gave the example with my friend Juliet. Juliet is a declutter coach. She helps people to keep spaces, to make places be good, creating spaces for life's possibilities.
Yes.
So whichever business you have, a book is a good thing to have. It's almost a must-have because, with a book now, you get opportunities to be invited to conferences, for interviews like you've invited me. And when you're here, people get to see you. Then order for your book. You get speaking engagement. So it's a very good thing to have.
Lovely.
Then you're able to sell your book. And then what we say is that a book creates authenticity and credibility.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
And it also gives you a lot of visibility.
Of course.
People want to deal with people who they can trust. Then they can, trust them with their money because they've seen them, they've done it. They've been there, done it, so they can trust you to guide them.
But I also believe that the information therein is something that would change a life.
Yes,
so you're creating impact even when that's it, right?
Yes. So one of the things is the book. You can have your book, your hard copy or soft copy. You can also create a blog, your blog, and then you can begin to sell your things from there, from the blog. That is still writing. You can, as a writer, you can also create for people blogs and their websites and create content for them. That's also a very good business because people are so busy doing many other things, but they have their websites and they have their blogs, but they need content for them. So who is going to come up with this content for them?
Definitely.
You can take that up as a job, even as a, anybody looking for a job, even our youth, our young people, it's a good thing to do. And then also you can, like we said, you can market your book, your hard copy, your soft copy, plus you can also get jobs as a technical writer. Plus we have many sites also now which are offering jobs for writers, Upwork. We have many, there are many opportunities. The only thing is you need to be a hardworking person.
That's true, definitely. And who eats anyway where you've not sown? If you're not working, then the Bible says you do not eat. So you have to get up and do the hard work. Because
we say that writing requires dedication, determination, hard work, time, mental, mental
fitness.
Mental fitness. So you really have to be somebody who is determined.
And I think solitude as well, right?
Yes.
Or do you write in the noises? I wonder.
No. Like for me, I do it right. I'm a morning person. You must have a morning routine, consistency. If you want to be a writer, you must be a consistent person. You must have a routine, either morning routine or evening routine. That's why we are saying you need to have dedication, discipline, very important.
Tabs, I wonder, in this day and age when tech has become the order of the day, does paper still serve people in terms of having a book, an actual book, a tangible book?
Yes.
Where is the place?
I know many people ask me that. But I also, we still have bookshops, I'm sure you know that. I mean, we have other bookshops are still there as they used to be. We still have many people who prefer to have a hard copy instead of the soft copies. So there's still the place for books. We still have the place for books.
But then again, if then one doesn't have it as a hard copy, what is the other option? You're saying soft copies. What are those? What do they? How do they present themselves? And how am I paid on a soft copy?
Yes. We have Amazon. We have places where people buy them from, like Amazon. I've also put my book in Amazon because remember our market now, it's a global village where all my clients are not in Kenya or just near me. So you put them on Amazon or many other platforms online. There are people who are selling online. Even Nuria, we have Nuria here in Kenya. We have Amazon where you can be able to put them and you can be able to people can buy from there and you will get your money.
I see.
Yeah, and it's safe.
See. Oh, it's
Yeah,
safe.
it's safe.
Okay.
It's safe.
So at this moment, we can take a short break.
Yes.
Just to breathe in.
Yeah.
And for you guys to grab your glass of water. Again, just replenish it. Come back. Let's continue. We have so much more in store for you. Don't touch that dial. Please keep it right here with us. We're coming back. We're coming back in the next couple of seconds. So with that, Tabi, we just take a very short break and we can come back and continue. Thank you for being with us. Coming back in a few. Thank you.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Did they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Arise each morning to a moment of worship. And powerful nuggets from God's word.
If there is one big thing that is needed in our time, is the ability to hear God's voice and apply his word.
We can put our faith on Christ, just like this centurion, and believe, Lord, let your word turn this situation.
God does not definitely tell you, I am coming in 6 months. I am coming 1 year.
On Hope Devotion every Monday to Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. only on Hope TV. Look and live.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for being there and thank you for not touching that dial. We are back and I hope you have grabbed your glass of water. Please sip it even as we take the next couple of minutes towards the close of this session. So Tabi, I am actually truly amazed at the things that you're doing and I'm hoping that I can be your next client.
Yes, please.
You can be sure that this is something I'm considering and there are many would want to write. But one of the things I just quip and wonder is, of course, because we appeal to the business community, there's one person who stuck with me and who I keep wondering about. And this is a small business person, people who are starting out. And of course, people with very, low businesses, right? They're very micro businesses, like the mamambogas and others, riders, nani. Where would they even begin? Are there opportunities for them in writing? Would you even advise them to write? Yeah.
Yes. Writing is limitless for everybody.
Yeah.
We can all write because we can even write in our mother tongue.
Oh.
So even the mamambogas, they can write, they can document, they can talk about their, their businesses and even put it on social media.
Wow.
Yeah, and now we have conversion. Somebody can be able to translate it to whatever language they want to. So that's not a limitation for them. So anybody can write. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope you heard that anybody can write. Sometimes I go to the market and see the experiences of people in the market. And I think these are things that we would, even if they were to be documented, somebody else would read and be inspired and grow, just like you documented your story.
Yes.
So I'm only imagining a mama mboga or someone who wakes up, by the way, those ladies wake up very, very early in the morning.
Yeah.
And probably they can document their path. So my dear viewers, this is something that is limitless, like Tabi says, and it's something that we need to grab and run with. Why? Because how would you tell a generation and a generation to come? When I read a book that was written in the 1960s, you're able to see how life was then, and it would inspire you to even do better.
Yes.
And so we have there is nothing that would stop us from documenting these things. But then again, Tabi, where does somebody begin? Now, here I am, I'm a professional in this area. How do I even know whether it's the right area to write on? Where does somebody get the idea on what to write on? You get what I'm asking?
I get.
Yeah.
I get that question a lot. There are many people who want to write, but then they don't know where to even begin.
Yes.
They don't know what their niche is, their area of specialization.
Yeah.
Others feel that they would want to write about many, many other things. And I have a model I use called a shape tool.
Yes.
It's a common model to discover either your purpose or your niche or your interest. And the S stands for spiritual. Your spiritual gift, you ask yourself, what are you good at? Is it, you want to start writing, so you ask yourself, do you want to write about your faith-filled stories, your knowledge, your whichever gift you have, so you can begin to write about it. And then we talk about the heart. What are the things that you love? Is it cooking? Is it swimming? Is it golfing? Is it whichever thing you like? Is it techie?
Yeah.
Is it, what you love to do effortlessly? You write about it. And then abilities, A is for abilities. Abilities are the things you've learned in school. Like for me, I've learned IT, like from undergraduate, master's, PhD. So I write about it because I have an ability. I can be able to, to write technical stuff to make them, simple, knowledge.
Yes.
Anybody can be able to read about it. And then there's the P is for personality. You look at your personality and there are things you can write. Like my friend here is a sanguine, so she has her stories, of life.
How I meet people.
Yes.
How I met so-and-so and how I'm to meet so-and-so.
Yes. Because we find our creativity from day-to-day activities.
I
So you
know.
could write about it, where you were yesterday, where, your life really. I'm a melancholy, so I read a lot. So I could write about, I could review books that I've read. And then the experience, you can write about your experience, the good and the bad. Like you say, I talked about my life experience.
Yeah.
So you can begin from there. Writing about your interest, things you love to do effortlessly. If you love cooking, why don't you write about it?
Yeah.
If you love, you can always show people how to cook something, a new something. Yeah, if you love knitting, write about it. Yeah, so the first thing is to discover your niche. When you discover your niche, then think about your target audience. Who do you want to write for? You can't say I'm writing for everybody. That's not possible. So you have to ask yourself, who are you writing for? And we always say when you write, you're an author. We are called authors because we have authority. You have to write about something you can own, something you can defend.
I hear you.
So you think about it. Like when I talk to women and I tell them about waiting, I have waited. I know, you ask me what I was doing when waiting, what I was feeling. I can defend it because I've been there. So
It's your experience.
It's my experience.
Yes.
And nobody can take experience from me. Experience doesn't lie.
That's true.
So you have to write about an area
Say that again, experience?
doesn't lie.
Wow.
Yeah, so you write about what you're confident about, what you can talk about easily. So if it is your work experience, you write about something you're confident about. Yeah. Then you think about your target audience. So for me, I was sure it's women because I wanted to tell other women like me who are waiting to just wait and wait well.
Yes.
And also children because I love children. So I write for both women and children.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can begin from there, discover your niche and then get to know about your target audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your niche and your target market
Yeah.
or audience. But remember, experience does not lie, as
Yes.
Tabi is telling us this evening. And I wonder what is your experience? Where have you been? What have you done? What is it that you have been in touch with? And I think this is a good place to begin in. But I love the shape as well. S-H-A-P-E. S for
Spiritual
spiritual,
gifts.
H for
For heart.
heart, A for
Ability.
abilities, P
P for
for
personality.
personality, and
If
E for
experience,
experience.
yes.
And I hope that we can be able to review ourselves and just get deep down within ourselves and have an experience of who we really are, to be able to discover what area you can write in. And this can form a big business, a big opportunity for you. I'm loving the questions that are coming in from you, our dear audience. I hear this one saying, "Hi, Sarah, this is your son's namesake, Akim." Wow, okay. Green Farm has a quarterly newsletter that we used to charge for advertising space, but things have changed as businesses don't want to pay for adverts. We are targeting, and that one didn't end, but it is okay. I hope that, Akim, you can be able to send in yet again what question or what complete comment you wanted to make so that we can be able to capture it. Yes, another one. Hello, Hope TV. Hello to you. I am watching from Gashia, Nairobi. I am very inspired by Tabitha Kihara. Somebody is inspired by you, Tabi. I have over 10 books in a USB flash, but I am very stranded. I think you wanted to say stranded there. I don't know what to do with them. I asked several publishing companies without success. I'm nearly giving up. Please help to see even if one book is printed. And thank you very much. You didn't put your name there, but we are grateful for your comment, and we will be able, oh yes, Onesmus Mwanzi, we definitely, or Tabitha will definitely get in touch with you to be of help to you so that your stories and your books do not remain in a flash disk and you're able to take them out and publish them. Thank you very much. Please keep your comments and your questions coming. Hope TV _ KE is the space to be on Twitter as well as Facebook. But also, if you want to SMS, 22233 is the SMS line. Keep your comments and your questions coming. And thank you for keeping it right there. Let's keep talking and having this conversation. Tabitha, you said one has to know their niche, and one has to, there was a second thing.
Yeah, their target audience.
Your target audience.
And also something else is routine. Because we talked about writing, you need to be dedicated and disciplined.
Yes.
So you need to have a routine. Either a morning routine or an evening routine.
Yes.
I meet so many people who tell me, I've been writing for the last 10 years.
Yes.
So I ask them, why are you not completing? Then they say, no, I don't have time. I mean, all of us, we don't have time, but then you have to create that time.
You have to
so you have to really get to know when
does it work best for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm a morning person. So by
Yes.
3 in the morning, I'm up.
Yeah.
And that's when I do my writing. So I
Yes.
dedicate at least 1 hour to do my writing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Great.
everybody, it's about discipline.
Yes.
It's about, and then how much do you need it? How soon do you need your book? And then this person who talked about that he's almost giving up, I find many people also telling me the same. I have the stories, I have everything, but I always say, I like this, there's this quote, when you want something so much, the universe just conspires to make it happen. You get the resources that you need. And this person shouldn't give up. I like that they've talked about it. Just recently, a young person reached out to me and said, I have written my story about dialysis. He got dialysis when he was quite young. Now he's at the university and he goes for dialysis, I think, twice per week. And he told me he's told his story, he's written about it. Then he told me, but I'm struggling with, publishing my book, getting funds. Then I told him, then that shouldn't be a big struggle. What we do is we get a group of your friends and then put us there. I put my friends there, he put his friends there, and we said, you know what, we are going to do pre-orders. And when we did the pre-orders, I mean, through that money, he's
able to
he's able to, so there's always a way out.
There's always a way out. I think
yeah.
the push is what is not good enough.
Yeah.
The motivation is not good enough to just create the way. But I think, yes, when you need something so badly, something has to open the way for you, and God is that.
God is there.
Yeah, is that really open? Even your eyes to see that
opportunities.
Pre-orders could even work for you. He is there to give you wisdom, to give you knowledge, to give you the understanding that you can talk to so-and-so to fund it.
Yes.
Or you can, go to the publisher
Yeah.
and promise that you will pay in 2 months or whatever and
Yes.
sell the books. And I mean, there is always a way.
Yeah, yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
God is on the throne.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So Onesimus, I'm sure you're only a very short period away from a breakthrough. You only need to keep pressing forth. Don't give up. And I'm glad that you're actually reaching out to Tabitha and many, many others out there who would love to publish and you still haven't done it, or you want to write. Of course, the other thing I was going to ask, apart from you know, knowing your target market and all these things that you're talking about, is it possible that somebody would lack the language to put across?
To put across.
I know language is at the center of it, but is it possible that I know what I want to say,
Yes.
but I don't know how to say it?
Yes.
Are
yes,
you getting?
I get it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's possible. And actually, many people tell me they don't have the language, but they have the idea. They have
Yes.
the and that's why they need to be coached and to be mentored. Because
Yes.
that's what we teach you. We teach you how to, you know, descriptive writing,
Yes.
how to show, don't tell. You see, like when I was reading for you the stories about my father, like you
Yes.
can almost see that Nyamachoma place and
Kwanza
the
now you left me
barbecue.
there,
And the,
uliniacha hapo. You
Yes.
left me there, you know?
yes, so we teach you how to connect, because writing is about connecting
Yes.
with your audience.
Yes.
They need to feel you, they need to see, you know, what you're talking about. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we teach you how to develop a writing voice.
Yes.
Yes, everybody has a voice, so we teach you how to develop it.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually train you. That's why
Yeah.
you need mentorship.
You
You need
really
accountability,
Yeah.
so that we hold your hand
Yeah.
for you to be able to get your book out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm actually just the other people I have a heart for and I keep thinking about is the young people. And I think young people have, maybe they may have the language, but they may not even have the patience to be able to put together a book such as this.
Yes.
Yet they have experiences, they have all these things that we're talking about. They have their encounters that they have had over the years, and it's a group that I would want to encourage. So where does a young person begin in terms of their writing, in terms of penning down even the experiences they've had? Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're very passionate about the youth.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're mentoring them.
Yes.
I would also say they would also fall in that category of being mentored.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that we can mentor them and then we see what to do with them.
Yeah.
And then what I love about writing is the moment you write something, there are always people out there who are willing to support Sarah. That's what I've realized. Like when we did the children's book, and then I began putting it in Facebook and saying, this book, I would want to donate this book to the rural schools
Yes.
because there are children who will never be able to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have libraries probably in the rural where they're coming from. I
Yes.
got people who are saying, how can we support your initiative?
Yes.
So the thing is, you have to be willing to do it. Yeah.
You have to be
you
willing
have to
to
be
do
willing
it.
to do it. Yeah. And
Indeed.
just be out here. Let
Yeah.
people know you're interested. People
Yeah.
will hold your hand.
That's true.
Yeah, because I find so many people holding my hand also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling us that really where there is a will, there is a way.
There's a way.
There's a way.
There's a
You
way.
can't lack it.
You can't.
But not unless you haven't voiced it and come
Yeah.
out to say. And by the way, it happens that in every area of life, that is what happens. Why? Because many people die. Why? Because their mouth is shut.
Yes.
But when you speak out, when
Yeah.
you come out and say, this is what I'm struggling with, this is what I would want to do, somebody is there to hold your hand. And God provides those people really to hold your hand and to move with you.
And we always say a closed mouth cannot be fed.
Yeah.
So speak out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
In
that
fact,
we feed you.
Yeah, one of my pastors used to say, a closed mouth is a closed destiny.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes. It's
Closed
a
mouth
closed destiny.
Be,
Yes.
cannot be fed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Samuel Kamunge for being there. He's saying great inspiration from Tabitha Kihara.
Yeah.
He's celebrating you. And thank you so much, our dear audience, for being there and for sending your comments and your questions. We are so, so grateful. So Tabi, there is something I really, really need to capture from you. Now, I have consistently sat every morning for an hour to write.
Yes.
When you're now finally putting the book together, is it just what I have written that goes into the book? Or there is a way that you help somebody now to put together the story? I don't know. What's the process like?
Oh, the process is I find there are people who come to me and they tell me they have the story and they don't know how to write. So I can even ghostwrite. I can be a ghostwriter. You just tell me your story and I write it for you. But then the credit goes to you. My name is not going to appear there.
Yeah.
But then there are people like you who have already written.
Yeah.
But then you want me to go through your work and then give you feedback. I analyze it and give you feedback and say, because we have to look at the theme. What is the theme you're talking? What is your main message? Like when you look at all these books, there's a theme, like the beauty of waiting. So the theme here is waiting. I have to go through your book and analyze it and see, is the theme consistent in all the chapters? So I analyze it. After I've analyzed it and I give you feedback, then we progress now to editing.
Yeah.
We get an editor who is going to do the editing for you. After the editing has been done, we do proofreading, and then we design the cover. So we do all this with you because it's your book. You need to own it.
Yeah.
So you have to tell us about your colors. Actually, what we do when we get writers, the first thing is always to create a vision board.
Yeah.
Because this is your vision. We don't want to run with our own ideas. It is your vision. So you tell us, I have this idea of coming up with a book. This is my story. So we get the theme with you. You tell us, I had probably a hard life growing up, but I made it. So that's resilience. So we come up with it with you. So we start by having a vision board, which is very important. We get to know the number of pages that your book is going to have. We get to know the colors. We get to know how to design it. So we want you to own it, and we go through the entire process with you from the beginning to the end until we print. We get to know, like when you look at all these books, you can see even the material is different even for printing.
Yeah.
And of course, the price matters also based on the material. So we work with you step by step until you get your hard copy.
I see.
Yeah, so there's a cost involved. Yeah, but it's manageable. As long as somebody is willing, there's always a way out.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And can you imagine our time has run out?
Oh, that was so
Tabi,
fast.
imagine it was so fast. It goes
Yeah.
so fast when you're talking things that you're passionate about. So just invite you to quickly do your parting shot in less than a minute.
Yes.
And then you can close even with your contact so that those who would want to reach out to you, like Onesimus, can easily reach out to you.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy to have been here and to have inspired you. I want to just tell you, write your story. You're the only person that can tell your story and tell it so well. You can find me on Facebook at Tabitha Kihara. You can send me a message. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you. We really, really appreciate that you made time to be here. You have inspired many, and I'm sure that you will continue to inspire many even as you do your work.
Yeah.
And may God bless you. May God keep you well. Thank you, Tabi. I am amazed that you found time to be here. I know you're a busy person, Prof, but thank you. Thank you once more. And our dear viewers, thank you for plugging in this evening. I'm hoping that you are on a journey, even if it means beginning tomorrow morning, just for an hour or for 30 minutes. As Tabi said, it's about consistency, it's about visibility, it's about you doing something and doing it even when you don't even know where you're headed to. And I'm sure God has a way of bringing help along the way when you're busy doing something. So with that, we come to the end of our show tonight. It's been real, it's been amazing, it has been a sunshine day. It has been really, really great. And I'm happy that you were able to join. I'm happy that you were able to just sit and relax and enjoy the show. Looking forward to seeing you next Sunday, same time, same place. May the Lord be with you for the rest of the week. For now, it is Kwaheri from me. Thank you very much.